place to promote the growth of Tigres in English through analysis, discussions, interviews, and more. Welcome to the Lautimes podcast.
And we are back. Unfortunately, in very unfortunate circumstances involving our team, we are back here on the Lautimes podcast, the only place in the world talking about Tigres in the English language. And tonight, a bombshell has dropped earlier today that we're going to talk all about over the next hour or so here on the show. I'm Dennis. I'm the host and the producer. And buckle up. It's going to be quite the episode. We've got some of the crew here with us tonight. Hopefully a few more will join us later. Starting off with, you know him as the Pride of Corpus, but he lives in Houston. It's my friend AJ holding it down for us. How are you?
Doing good. How are you taking the news?
Yeah, it's been a day. I know we just were talking about it before we clicked record, but it's been a day. It really has been a day. Also joining us for the first time this season, finally, we had to do some negotiating in order to get this guy on tonight. So please join the man, not the myth, because he's not a myth, he's not AI. The man, the legend himself, from Austin. It's Luis from Tigres_English. Holding it down. How are you?
What's up, fellas? Happy to be here with you guys under some weird and unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah, absolutely. Threedger's here as well in the chat. What's up, Threedger? Hey, if you're watching us live right now, please do us a favor and let people know about this stream. If you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching on YouTube, let people know and come hang out and chat. The show is better when you guys are in chat, commenting your takes and opinions and reacting to what we say. And especially on a night like tonight where such big news has dropped, even better. So please spread the word, come hang out, and don't forget to follow us if you haven't already on all the platforms. If you're listening on podcast later, thank you for being here as well. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and follow the show if you haven't already by now. So let's get to it, fellas. A piece of news that we were not expecting at all. I think it broke at about, right after lunchtime, if I remember correctly, about 1 o'clock this afternoon. After 2 games in this Apertura season, just under a week after the ending of the Angel Correa saga, Guido Pizarro has resigned as Tigres head coach. You know, when we were going to record this week, we hadn't even planned out what we were going to talk about this week. I'm sure we were going to discuss the game last week on Saturday, the Correa saga finally concluding. We weren't even going to record tonight. We were going to record on Thursday, probably. And yeah, here we are on Tuesday because this happens. Citing mental health reasons and citing in his statement differences with the front office, even though he didn't directly say that, you can tell based on what he said that that's what he was trying to say. Guido's left the club after 13 years as player and over the last year and change as head coach after taking over last March of 2025. He has left, effective immediately. We have interims in place for what's ahead, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of fallout with this news. So I know we've been talking about it all day online in our little Twitter chat, and Lou it's probably the most active Lou has been on his account in like ages, honestly, but rightfully so, right? Like you've had to be. So I'll kick it to you, my friend. Just I don't know where you want to go with this. Just initial reaction when you saw, I know how you reacted when you saw the news, because you were like, is this fake? Especially with the source that it was coming from. But just, yeah, give us your opening monologue to this news that Profe has left.
Shocked, just like the rest of you guys. I didn't see it coming. I thought, honestly, Pizarro was gonna sink with the ship. Um, I think we've been talking about it between us for a while now that the team wasn't heading in the right direction due to different circumstances. One of them being that we lack signings and quality players at certain positions. And so we had talked about things getting a little rough for him in the upcoming weeks and months. Uh, we're coming up on a game against Querétaro that, frankly, is going to be really tough. It's a well coached team, and I think that's a team that was definitely going to make us drop points. And so, in a season where we only have 1 point so far, we're kind of near the bottom of the standings, and then you're looking at a game where potentially you're going to drop points and then go into a Leagues Cup that is completely meaningless at this point, and then coming back to more Liga MX drama. I just felt that we were headed into this direction where Pizarro was going to be in a no-win situation. In other words, he's going to be in a position where he was going to take all the blame for all the bad results and then eventually possibly get fired. So I think maybe he saw the writing on the wall and decided now is the time to resign before I lose the support I have from the fans, the love I have from the fans, and burn bridges within the institution. I think from that standpoint, I don't fault him, especially with how slow this front office has been in regards to signings. I think we're not in a position to bring in a signing or two in the middle of September and hope that somehow that's going to salvage the season. Um, so I think Pizarro, like you mentioned, even though he didn't straight up blame the front office, I think it's pretty clear that he knew that he didn't trust the path this front office is taking. And I think when you no longer trust the process, you no longer trust the people that are making the calls, then you do have to step aside and do what's better for yourself. And frankly, I think it's good for us as fans too, because now the pressure is where it needs to be with the front office, right? I think everybody's anger is now going to be directed at the guys making the calls, which I think is important because we've been so slow to move in comparison to other institutions within the league. Cruz Azul has done really well with their signings. The neighbors have done really well with their signings. They're moving things along. They're getting players that they need for their new coach. And here we are. We've done really well with the departures. I mean, we've gotten rid of Angel Correa, our best player, and we got rid of Purata, and we've dropped a lot of guys. We've freed up the payroll, but we've done very little to fortify this team. And so, yeah, I mean, I was completely shocked. I didn't see it coming. The mental health reasons, Pello Maldonado mentioned it earlier in the day, and then he doubled up in a video that he published recently. And I think it's part of it. It's not one or the other. I think it's both. I think he felt the pressure. I think he realized that fans were starting to turn on him, and it started to weigh on him. The fact that you're already carrying on your shoulders two finals that you've lost. The team wasn't in great form last season. You get bounced the way you did against Chivas, and then you start the season off really bad with no signings. I think that does take a big mental toll on you. I think it does mess with you psychologically, and I think he was starting to feel the pressure and decided, okay, this is a good time to end it. And like I said, I don't blame him for it. I think we need to, as as a pod, we need to also take a little time out, and hopefully you'll do it, Dennis, as the host, to kind of talk about the things Pizarro accomplished. I think that's also important that we mention it, because this is a legend. This is a guy who gave so much to the club. So I think it's important to also bring that up later on.
I will when I say my piece here in a minute, but I want to let AJ have a second to share his initial reaction to the news.
I was kind of like Lou, like with the source. I was like, I don't know if this is true. Look, my son's involved. He wants to be in this. But I was like initially like shocked, but now you can't really fault the guy. The front office hasn't really gave him the reinforcements that he needed, especially we saw how we were dragging into the Conca final. Everyone was tired. There's no depth. We haven't had a true number 9, someone to replace Ignac. Someone that could take the helm in a while. And I think I saw your tweet earlier, Lou. It's 7 managers in 6 years. That if that doesn't ring the alarms, that the problem isn't the coaching, it's the front office. Can't set a system in place when you're quick to get rid of a manager. If you want the institution to thrive, you have to support the manager. Results will come if you build the system. Like, it's not going to take a year to get a good system in place. And I saw the vision with what Pizarro was trying to do with the club. He just couldn't utilize his tactics the way he wanted to due to the depth and the lack of signings, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm not angry at him. He, like you said, I think he was taking a dig at the front office, but he just didn't say it out loud. I'm more upset with the front office more than Guido. So that's just how I feel at this moment.
Agreed. I was gonna say my piece, but this show's about to get really crazy because big surprise, to quote Bayo. Not only is Alfred here at Tigres Takes live from Monterrey, but also Arnoldo's here, aka the father of this project, of this show. I've texted Arnoldo about this, or actually he called me earlier today when I first mentioned the news to him. Fred, I'll start with you. Your thoughts when you heard about this bomba that Guido has decided to leave?
Well,
If
first
you're
of all,
there.
I'm not in Monterey. I'm actually traveling. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I'm traveling on my way to Monterey. I was in Houston for a couple of days, but oh man, I mean, while at work, and first thing I do is just go straight to Twitter and be like, what's going? Is this fake news? Is this real? I don't think any of us expected it. Honestly, I think that we all thought that Guido was gonna write it out. Like, we knew the situation was bad. Like, everybody knows it, right? Everybody has sensed it, has seen it. That the way the front office is moving, or should I say the lack of movement of the front office, makes it clear and evident that there is no real project, or that there is no interest to put any money into the project. And so I honestly thought that Guido would stick around, but I get it. I mean, I think he's he's seeing for his future. He's trying to get out, while his reputation is still semi intact. I mean, he did lead us to 2 finals. We can't say that it was a bad tenure when with what he had at hand, he was able to and capable of taking us to 2 finals. That he lost them in ridiculous ways, or that he couldn't help us cross the finish line, well, that's a different story. But he did, it wasn't a failure like some of the other knuckleheads that have been brought on to our team over the past few years. So yeah, I think it's fair. I think he's trying to save his skin and get out while he can, before the house burns down. Who knows? Might not be the last departure from our golden age this season. I'm thinking now Will might make a decision in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I want to touch on that later because I think the ramifications of that are coming pretty soon. I don't know though. If you're there, hello. Your thoughts on this situation? Tell us about your conversation with Glenn, please, and any other additional thoughts you want to give.
Hey there, everybody. Hope you guys are having a good evening. Um, I can't sit here and say that I'm like disappointed. Just like Alfred just touched, like we knew, and when we recorded last week, like the team is in bad shape and has been for a while. Some of the things that I discussed with Glenn today were, you know, the 2023 championship. Excuse the noise there. The 2023 championship masked a lot of things, right? We talked about it over and over again over the last couple of years. Siboldi coming in and riding that wave of momentum, emotion, and somebody that belonged to the club, leading us there with leadership and strong ties, and then the older players, putting some skin in the game, as well as Cordova having a phenomenal liguilla, put a dent in a lot of like future plans for Tigres that probably weren't going to happen, but a lot of people thought were going to happen with the departure of some of the older players. A lot of the older players have continued to leave over the years, and there wasn't ever a plan for any incoming or a restructure of players. We talked about it last week. Tigres has gone from being the team that pursues and bought the top players in the league that has been taken over by the likes of Toluca, Cruz Azul. So the departure of Guido is just the cherry on top. Someone that finally said this is enough. And truthfully, with a player that means so much, and even though he was our coach, more of a player, right, in everybody's eyes, and what he has accomplished at the club, finally decided to step up, right? We have Gignac, who hasn't been announced if what's going on with him. A thank you, a hey, we wish you the best. What's going on in your future with the club? Is he signing on with another team? Nothing of the sorts. So to me, it's just a cherry on top for the poor execution of running the club over the last 5 years or so. Too many mishaps have happened, and the 2023 championship masked that. The two finals have masked that as well, where you have players like the likes of Correa who departed, probably due, and now rightfully so, with the project not being in a good place. Obviously, there's other alternatives or other things that happened there surrounding where he might have just felt it was a great opportunity to leave to the likes of River Plate, a team that probably all Argentines, along with Boca, grew up watching to possibly join. So it's just I'm more in awe of how long it took for us to get here and see that the club is in a very vulnerable stage, and we're on track. No matter what the signings, no matter what coach arrives, it's going to be hard to turn it around with everything that we accomplished in a short span of a decade, and now completely going opposite direction.
And not just the league title in 2023. I mean, I think all of 2023 as a whole like masked a lot of things, right? Like you win that championship, you then win 2 more trophies on top of that with Campeón de Campeones, you win Campeones Cup. You make another final in December of that year, a final that if some things don't happen, maybe you have a better chance at winning, right? And then the Sigoldi stuff happens like around 6 months later, and then you're like, okay, like there's kind of some warning signs there, but whatever. The Pauno era ends up being a disaster. Guido comes in, and Guido started well to a degree, right? Like he got to the semifinal in his first season, so it's not like a rounding success, but you could tell that something was there. And we've done how many coach related podcasts have we done over the last 3 years, especially in my time here at the show? We've done, I think, 3 or 4 at this point. because we've done a Siboldi gets canned episode. We did a Pauno gets canned episode. So this is our third one, I think.
Dennis, every coach that has been with us since with the start of Tuca Ferretti leaving has been a odd departure, right? Like
Right.
the non-renewal of Tuca Ferretti, the firing of Piojo Herrera with the comments of the old players, Coca going to the national team, Chima Ruiz coming in and then deciding to part ways out of nowhere. Siboldi, like now Guido Pizarro starting and being the coach midway through the season as a player. Like eh, there's no structure. There's no structure. There's no plan. There's not a light in sight of something that we can look forward to, and everything has been related to the players, the enthusiasm that they provided on the field, led by the leaders. And I think that's even dying out, as of late with, the whole aspect of, them going to the final for Argentina, the whole booing of things. So there's obviously a lot of things going on that, are not being discussed, but every single coach has left on some sort of fiasco.
And it just goes hand in hand with like some of these weird player departures too. Like Javier Aquino leaving on really weird terms. You mentioned Gignac, and there's no thing that's been made for him, right? So I told my mom, I was talking about something Tigres related to my mom the other day, and I was like, the club's in crisis. She's like, nah, hombre, ¿qué te pasa? No digas eso. And I texted her today as soon as the news dropped, and I was like, you want to take back what you said? Because I mean, I think the institution as a whole is in crisis, right? It's not just the men's side, right? Like obviously we're mainly talking about Guido Pizarro today, but let's not talk about that without mentioning that the women's side is not that much better, right? Like Pedrosa's still in charge. The team is depleted. There's like zero depth. You lost a game the other day that was kind of a crappy way to lose, and kind of felt like the last couple finals with the men. This club is not in good shape right now, and I commend Guido a ton for making this decision, because I felt like for him it was the right thing to do. I think he understood, as we all have kind of touched on already, that this was the right time to do it. Clearly something has happened over the last week or so to where there was a tipping point, and I kind of want to ask you all about that here in a second. But he finishes his tenure with, in the league at least, I think he coached 50 games, 24 wins, 16 draws, 10 losses, 88 points out of a possible 150. You make a semifinal of a league, you make a final that I think that's the final that you give him the most like grief for, because like he shouldn't have parked the bus the way that he did. Then you make the Conca final, a game that honestly we should have won. Like, let's just keep it real. Like we were the better team that night. We just ended up playing Mochis Garcia, turning into prime Gigi Buffon, right? Like he had the game of his life. But over the course of his tenure, Guido did a lot of things that I thought were well. He didn't lose a Clásico. Let's not forget that. We kind of got some revenge on America, Cruz Azul. Toluca was kind of just the big monkey that we couldn't get off our backs. But like some of these other big teams, we were able to, get some good results against over the last year and change. So I don't think it's a failure of a tenure, but just the way that it's ended has been really, really sad to see. I want to ask you guys, what was the tipping point? Was it Saturday? Like the way that Saturday just kind of ended up? Because I'll be honest, at the end of the game on Saturday, I was like, I think Guido might be in trouble. That's the first time I've ever thought in his coaching tenure that I thought that he might be in trouble with the way that we performed on Saturday against San Luis. Was it that? Was it the Correa situation? Was there something internally that we don't know? Like, what was the tipping point? Or is there even a tipping point to this whole situation?
I just think he saw what was coming. This team last season struggled against inferior opponents and continues to do the same this season. The way the calendar set up was for us to really be able to win all these games and be at the top of the standings, but it's not looking that way anymore. I think this team is going to go into week 8, week 9, and possibly be out of contention for Liguilla. Like it's that serious. And I think he saw that. He probably realizes that the front office is extremely slow by hiring anybody. And like I said, you get somebody. Let's say you do get a signing in September or whatever. It takes a signing at least a month, 6 weeks to get up to speed, to get build up chemistry with his teammates. So now you're looking into October when by that moment the season could be completely gone. And so if the season's gone by October, then he was going to get fired anyway. So why not make the move now? To me, I think he looked ahead and realized that there was not much to play for. I mean, it's just I don't care who they bring in. This team can't continue this way without a center forward, without a true left winger. I think it needs a lot of work, and you're a couple injuries away from being a bottom feeder if certain positions get your players get injured. You lose Linus, you lose Brunetta, you're going to be in deep trouble. And who knows? I mean, the front office could have said, "Hey, we're selling Brunetta to the Saudi league," and now in this season you've lost your best player in Correa, and you're going to lose your second best player and arguably your best player in Brunetta. So what is there to look forward to when the front office hasn't shown any interest in signing anybody?
Yeah,
And
You
so
ask about no, go ahead, Arnoldo. I'll let you stop.
I was just going to add on to that. I mean, those are excellent points, Lou. And I think, adding on, like, you cannot go into a season where you got lucky in discovering a guy like Farfan, and then you have a guy like Reyes being the backup and Loroña being the starter, no striker, no forward, and then all the things that you mentioned. You're an injury away from being a Querétaro, who might whoop our ass on Saturday, riding this momentum. And you get into situations that, the guy's smart, like it's not any reason why Osorio, Tuca, and many others always highlighted that Guido Pizarro was going to be an excellent coach. He was a coach on the field, a tremendous leadership, and it demonstrated through all the things that Dennis highlighted in the tenure that Guido Pizarro has or had.
So I just want to say so you're asking about the tipping point, and I think you could be onto something. A month ago, there was no indication that Correa would leave. A month ago, or 2 months ago, the team, went to vacation, and the whole idea was to come back and be stronger, right? I'm sure that was Pizarro's idea. I'm sure that he was counting on having at the very least the same group of players that he finished the Conca with, and if not add on, more weapons. And then coming back, from vacation, and then all of a sudden, the Correa thing, starts to tip over, and it culminates with the team just outright selling him, and for all that money. I'm sure this had something to do with it, where Pizarro probably was in conversations with the front office, asking and checking in on them. Hey, are you guys really going to sell him? Like, what's the plan? And when he realized that, hey, they're selling him and there's no actual plan to bring in a replacement, or to perhaps even reinvest that money, at least not quickly, into other weapons to potentially fortify the team, I think that definitely played a role. And then Purata left. That was the thing, obviously, with Purata leaving.
I wonder. This is me being a little suspicious, and I don't know if this is even true. I've heard it said by quite a few people in Monterrey media. So if this is not true, y'all correct me. Apparently, when the negotiations were like at the finish line last week with Correa going to River, apparently there was an email sent like the night before it actually happened, like the night that we thought it was happening. Somebody, one of the higher ups sent an email, and it accidentally got sent to River, and that's when the whole drama started because they like the Argentine media claimed that we changed the negotiation, we changed the conditions of the deal because I apparently, and from what I have heard, it was apparently Carlos Emilio Gonzalez, the new president, who accidentally sent this email and
I don't
kind
know,
of
man.
and
I
ruffled
don't
stuff.
buy that, Dennis. I
I
don't
don't
buy
buy it
that.
either. I just gotta say, I gotta say it out loud because I'm being suspicious about this whole thing. I wonder if that had anything to do with it from the sake of financial like stuff, because I wonder if maybe we were gonna get all this money at one time from River, but maybe that's why we ended up getting this installment plan. I don't know. I think that's something to think about. Is it true? Who knows? I'm suspicious about it. I'm not into conspiracies usually ever, but that whole thing kind of made me raise my eyebrow a little bit. I do think the Correa situation ended up being a huge deal into this happening. A huge deal. It's not the reason,
Correa
but it's
Gate.
yeah, for real. But it's one of the top probably 3 reasons that
I
Guido is
mean,
no longer now the head
you
coach.
take you take the full aura out of the team. You know, he was the best player. He led you to 2 championships runs that did not end up in championships. I'm sorry, and more so final runs. Brunetta statistically was up there, but the team circled around Angel Correa and what we would accomplish. So I just think that it's been brewing for a while. Like I mentioned earlier when I first came on, there's clearly no money or financials for a reinvestment in the club. I was talking to Alfred about it earlier. Um, the whole thing with Corona becoming a sponsor, that's a money grab. I mean, Tecate probably was not willing to invest more money into what they were pouring into the team. Corona comes in a little bit more flashy, a bigger brand and riding the image of the team. What can they lose? I mean, I think that there's just been a lot of band-aids to the things that have been going on in the background. And I think that the tipping point, to your original question, is just the overall what's been right in our face. There's no money to invest in the club, and the whole
I,
driven
I,
agenda.
I don't
Right.
buy that, Ronaldo. There's no money thing.
Here
I
we
think
go. Here we go. I've been waiting for this to happen all day. I knew this was coming.
no. I think there's money. I think what's changed is the priorities. I think the purpose has changed, and you see it in big corporations all the time, right?
So what are the
Where
priorities, Lou?
the priority now for them is to make money, to fill the coffers. Where under Alejandro Rodriguez, Miguel Angel Garza, the priority was the product on the pitch. You go out and spend, so the product on the pitch is the best. I think Carlos Emilio pretty much put it really bluntly. He said we need to be self-sustainable, and when you start hearing corporations throw around words like that, these buzzwords, they're basically telling you what they're going to do, which is fill their pockets, fill the pockets of the corporation. And what they present on the pitch is no longer a priority for them. You can see it because they're cutting corners, they're cutting expenses, they're getting rid of players. I mean, think about how many players we've gotten rid of in the last year alone. You dropped Aquino, you dropped Cordova, you dropped Guignac, you dropped Correa. Those are all massive payrolls that you've lost, and you've done nothing to fill them back up. Where's that money going? And
Free
and we
signings.
weren't we weren't in the red. I was just watching like 6, 7 months ago, somebody that's like an expert on team businesses and stuff, and he was like actually praising Tigres that they'd been in the blue, in the black for over a year now, which means that they're operating at gains. It, a lot of teams operate at loss, right? They lose money, and Tigres is actually making money. And this is before Correa, before everybody else left. And now the question is the money. Where's the money going? I think the money is going back, filtering back into Cemex somehow. Um, and
And,
and
and
I think they're sacrificing the product on the pitch at the expense of the fans. And you mentioned it too, Arnoldo. I mean, they got money from Corona. They got all this money from Correa. They got rid of Purata. That's millions and millions of dollars that we're talking about, and it's not going back into the team. And
yeah,
and
and,
they
and
pretty much told us.
yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, obviously, there's money. Cemex is a highly important corporation around the globe. I mean, in the sense of they're not going to spend the money and there's no finances. I mean, the president is a finances guy. He's not coming in here to change the direction of the club from a sporting side. He's here to change the direction of the club from a finance standpoint. What else can we win on a day-to-day basis to make sure that the team is self-sustainable? Like you said, that's an excellent point. And but it's been right in our face. You're right. Like you talked about it. Like it's you mentioned all these players that we've gotten rid of. Even going back further, you talk about Carioca, Nico Ibanez. Like those are all high salaries, right? Salaries of players that you could have easily invested into other players, and you brought in signings that we weren't used to being made. Paco Reyes, Cesar Araujo, Mauro Lainez out of nowhere recently. Like those are players that Tigres wouldn't spend the time trying to bring into the club.
Alan Franco being a loan with option to buy instead of being a straight buy
Yeah,
is
when
another
would
example of that.
you
We
would
don't
buy that player outright?
right. Yeah. Especially coming from that league that he was in Brazil. You spend the money on that guy. And now you're
Romulo
not.
Suarez, Joaquin from the second division. Like, I mean, I like the players, but the intention behind it was clearly like we're going with a different approach to what we're bringing onto the field.
And who knows how that's gonna work out with the coach that frankly a lot of people want a good coach to come in, and an experienced coach that knows how to deal with these type of situations. But experienced coaches want money, and if the club's not willing to pay, I mean, it would not surprise me if Hector, Hernan Elizondo and Turruyates do well, that they try to keep them on, bro. I mean, I know they've said it's interim or whatever, but if they get on a little hot streak, they might want to pull that off too, and be like, continue paying them the under 21 coach fee, try to save
Yeah,
up that money, try to
and not
save up
have
those
to
bucks.
and
Yeah,
not have to
not
like hire somebody, use a firm and spend all the money and resources to like actually go out and get somebody. Yeah.
It's not
that.
a desirable seat for anybody. No one, like you said, no one's going to want to come in. If anything, you honestly have to go and seek out a coach that is willing to come in and work, that is not looking for a lucrative pay and is willing to earn the pay with results.
We're a lot closer to an Eduardo Fentanes or a stinking Profe Cruz than we are closer to a top name coach, man. I mean,
Profe
that's just.
Cruz mentioned drink.
Or we might
I
even
mean,
get some type of TMJ coach signing.
oh God,
Ay, no
please no.
mames, bro. Good grief.
Hey, and I'm glad you brought that up, Alfred, because on the femenil, there's somebody making a profit off of that as well too. Don't
Yeah,
don't tell me that they're not banking on that end.
when most of the roster at this point is all girls from that agency. Good grief. Since we're on the topic of replacements, I know we just said this is not the most desirable job right now, and that the club has unfortunately lost the pull that it's had in recent years. But give us a name or two, everybody, that you would like to see potentially take on the role of manager of Tigres.
I saw a name that was thrown around today, and I just mentioned it earlier when I was talking about Guido and what's been highlighted from previous coaches. I think a guy like Osorio would be an excellent hire, just because he would come in and clean up a lot of things in terms of player personalities in the locker room. Just kind of get a grip on it. Somebody that's going to come in and work tactically. Not saying it's probably my best preference, but I'm just thinking realistic options here. I can't believe we mentioned the name Fentanes, Lou. I can't believe we stooped that low. I would even be inclined to, going the route of, somebody, like a Jimmy Lozano, somebody that's just going to come in and, like I said, just work, just come in and, not
No,
worry
no,
about the
no,
pay.
no, 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 no,
No
no.
mames, bro.
Can't believe you just said that.
Mira, look at Lou. Look at Lou.
What do
This
you
is
mean you can't believe I just said that? We had a player that took
No,
over the
No,
team midway through the
no, dude.
season.
no,
What's sad? What's sad is
no.
he's gonna end up being right, bro. He's gonna end up being right. I'm gonna lose all my hair.
Yeah, well, I
Ahí
mean,
te vas a quedar como Pizarro, pelón.
anybody that you guys are gonna mention here is after that is not a realistic option. Who's out there?
All right, I'll go next. I'll go next. Bring me Vucetich. I'll take Vucetich.
Eso, way. Okay.
Desirable or realistic?
I think it's both. I think it's realistic, and I don't think many people will oppose a Vucetich tenure.
The guy that kicked our ass for a good 8 years of
Mid
his time.
90s.
Don't matter. Don't matter. I mean, and
Well, I mean,
ultimately,
there's
guys,
also
like the
the
future is not bright.
descenso.
Yeah,
Hey,
and the future is not bright at Tigres, guys. I mean, maybe he makes a descenso too. Hey, there's no descenso this time, so that's a win.
Drieger wants me to permanently mute Arnoldo. Because
Can't
of his
mute
suggestions.
the owner of the podcast,
Yeah,
bro.
bro. Not possible. There is no pod without this man. AJ, give us your suggestion.
I was gonna say Boozy Teach too.
Okay.
He knows the league, you know. He knows what it takes to win here, and I think he can clean up the mess. But at the end of the day, like regardless of who we say, I don't expect like a sudden change. I don't expect us to compete for the Liga. You know what I mean? I think like at the beginning of the season, we said the first half before the League's Cup was the easiest part of the schedule because you close out the league against Cruz Azul, America, right? Like these are the 3 points you need. Pachuca, Cruz Azul, and America. Those are your last 3 games in the league. And
we're not gonna point out of that at this rate.
you're at
Well, we might get one
one
against America.
you're at
America's
1 point
nuts.
against Tijuana and San
San
Luis,
Luis.
right? And we don't know what's gonna happen against Querétaro. So it's whoever's coming in, just they need to be a worker and someone that's willing to clean up, someone that's gonna not back down from the front office. I think we need someone to push back on the front office a little bit, to be a little more aggressive, and I think that's where an experienced coach comes in handy. Someone that can push back at this front office. But like Lou said, this front office is running it like a business. They're cleaning up, trying to balance whatever checkbooks they need to balance or get the Cemex brand out there even more. So I'm not willing to sacrifice the club for people to realize, like, it's the front office that's the problem.
All right, Luke, give us your name.
I liked both of the names that Arnoldo and Alfred threw out. I think they're both realistic. I think they're both doable. And I think they're both semi-agreeable with the fan base. Bucetich, we got to remember, has the whole descenso history from the 90s. But a lot of us old-timers are getting old, so the new generation doesn't have that attachment with Bucetich. So I think I think both of those are doable. I've heard people throw out Vicente Sanchez. That's another coach that kind of got thrown out. And any of those three to me, I think would be okay. But I do think Arnoldo is on to something here. I think it's going to end up being Jimmy Lozano, sadly, just because of Gerardo Torrado. I think Torrado is going to try to tap in with his connections, and I think he's got those connections with Jimmy Lozano, perhaps Vasco Aguirre, somewhere along those lines. I think that's what we'll end up getting, somebody that Pizarro knows. Because, I mean, think about it. Carlos Emilio doesn't have any connections, doesn't know any of these guys. He's relying on his professional. The professional is Gerardo Torrado. Who's gonna what's
Professional.
Torrado air quotes. So I mean, he's just gonna go with what's easy. He's gonna go with the guy he knows, and I think he's gonna go with Jimmy Lozano. I think that's the direction he's gonna take. And if that's the case, it's gonna bomb, bro. It's gonna be 2009, 2010 all over again.
I was gonna say also something that just came to mind, which kind of sticking along with the Pumas lineage. Alonso Pineda. Um, Again, I'm going for low profile, thinking somebody that I'm thinking actually the opposite. AJ, I think it's going to be someone that doesn't push back, someone that is there to collect their paycheck, there to
Status
like put in,
quo.
yeah, there to put in some work on the field with enthusiasm, young, new tactics, aspects, Barcelona, school training. I went to the Johan Cruyff Institute, and like you do corner kicks this way and free kicks this way. And somebody that's just gonna say like we gotta get 800 touches on the field before we try to score the ball. So I think that's more the profile that I think is going to line up more. I just being realistic. I don't think any coach is going to be like, hey, I want the Tigres job. Even like the likes of Chacho Coudet trying to get fired from River Plate or fired. I don't even know at this point. South America
Yeah.
coming down.
Well, how funny would it be if Guido ends up taking the River job if Coudet leaves? What a turn of events that would be.
It's not out of the question.
No. I like Vicente Sanchez personally. Him or Osorio. If we're talking about Vasco or Jimmy Lozano, I'd rather have Vasco all day every day. But I know that he's got some responsibilities with the national team still, like in some ambassador sort of role. My only hesitation with Sanchez is that he just left his job after like 3 or 4 months, the one that he was just doing. I believe in Europe, if I remember correctly. So that doesn't give me a great deal of confidence, but then again, who does at this point? Unless you're like, if this club was serious, you would like make some calls at some of these big guns that are currently out of a job, because there's a lot of like big name managers who don't have a job right now, specifically guys who have been in Europe or have been on big national teams. But being how apparently now cheap we are, that's not going to happen. So we're genuinely closer to bringing back Profe Cruz than we are to bringing in, I don't know, freaking Xavi or whoever, Pep Guardiola or whoever the heck you want to point out. We're more closer to that than we are any of the other guys. Sivin saying Arnoldo is right. This is a corporate-minded business front office. They want to make money with the least amount of investment. It's a short-sighted mindset. Invest in the team, get results, and expand the brand.
I mean,
Reminds me of Man U though, a little bit. When the Glazers own Man United. It's more like, hey, let's get the money in the pocket of the Glazer family rather than the club. That we're going to take the money out of the club, but we're not going to put anything into it.
And it's like,
excellent example.
And look at the ticket prices too, right? Like, look at how crazy
They're literally
the ticket prices
nickel and
were.
diming the fans, bro. They're nickel and
Yeah.
diming the fans for everything. I mean, it's just all part of the same purpose.
It's the same with Femenil too. Their first game on Saturday is at home, and they just put out tickets for it today. Every ticket is at least 20 or 50 pesos more than last year. For
over
what?
over or under 5 bands that perform at El Volcan for the rest of the season.
Chingao, bro.
Over 5. Over
I saw
5.
I saw a tweet that was super excellent. I don't know who copied and pasted it, but I'm pretty sure it was Láser de Nahuel or Testigo de Nahuel, one of those two, that said Tigres is closer to signing Grupo Frontera to come perform after the game than the signing. I thought it was amazing.
Chingao. There's gonna be Grupo Frontera. It's gonna be Intocable. It's gonna be freaking. They're gonna have Bad Bunny perform one of these shows at this point. They're gonna have so much
I
money
mean,
to
you
bring him
can
in.
count on definitely the local Monterrey groups like
Duelo,
Pesado.
Pesado.
Three ball.
Invasores.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
Cardenales.
I was gonna ask Dennis, any MLS coaches out there? Going off of what I say of Gonzo Pineda, any MLS coaches out there that could potentially be a candidate?
I haven't thought about this today. There's been a couple guys. Oh, you know what? You know who's actually on the market right now? Wilfred Nancy,
Yeah, I was gonna say
from
Nancy.
Columbus, because he hasn't returned. I don't think he's returned to coaching ever since he got fired from Celtic, after like 2 weeks on that job. I mean, that's the guy of anybody MLS semi-related that you take, because all the other guys are kind of scrubs, unless you want to bring in freaking Mascherano.
Yeah,
No, I don't
Argentina.
think I don't think we're going Argentine anytime soon for our coaches.
I
No.
think we burned that bridge, coaches and players, to be honest.
Yeah, is Wilfred Nancy French?
Yes, he
You
is.
can count him out. Gignac ain't gonna say to the fellow countryman, "Come take the club," and the stage it is.
Yeah, it's like trying to bring in Thierry Henry, because that dude's always trying to coach somewhere. It's like, okay, why would you?
Where's my boy
bring that guy?
Tarundelo at?
Oh, he is. I think he's about to come back to the States. I saw something about him the other day. Let me look this up real quick because he was in the news.
Oscar Pareja still got a job at Orlando City, or is he long gone?
No, ya se fue el güey.
Yeah,
Ya se
he's
fue.
gone. He's gone.
I would not hate that. I would not hate that. He's fine.
See, that's the profile I'm looking for. Somebody
Okay.
that's gonna take that big paycheck, at Tigres, and if he makes the playoffs, good. If he doesn't, I coach at Tigres.
Cherundolo just came back to take the under 23 job with the U.S. men's national team like 2 weeks ago. That's what happened to him. Bob Bradley. Just kidding. I don't want that bald sucker near our club.
I mean, outside of that, you go back into the carousel of like Tuca Ferretti, La Volpe, Hugo Sanchez, Chelis, Mario Carrillo,
Nacho Ambriz,
Paco Palencia.
all the scrubs, bro.
I do like the Vicente Sanchez thing that you mentioned, though. I think that's something that's a wild card. I think he can come in with some flair and try to, instill some garra charrua. There's, year wines on the team, so could work out.
I think two things are realistically gonna happen. One, we're gonna bring in Lozano, like you mentioned, but I also think that even if we don't get on like a great run, I do think that these interim guys are just gonna be given the thing full time, unless it turns into like an actual disaster. I could just see the Directiva being like, well, let's cut costs here and keep their salaries low and just have them ride the wave. Which, like, what's the point of that, right? Like, I don't think the team would do well in that scenario.
Did you just make a lot of San Diego connections there with Jimmy Lozano and Irving Lozano and the wave?
No, not intentionally. Although I did say, hey, I will say, before all this stuff, this is just a random Dennis weird brain moment. I will say, Lou and I got lunch on Saturday. One of the things we talked about when we were eating our Vietnamese food was I would not hate Chucky Lozano. This was before all this stuff happened, so it doesn't matter now. But I would not hate Chucky Lozano being on Tigres if you can buy him out of San Diego. I would not hate that as an option.
We had Antuna for a whole year. What's the worst that could happen?
And the floor is much higher with Chucky than it is with Uriel. The Kraken. The true Kraken. Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know what to expect at this point. I don't I would be stunned if there's any like real movement on this
I
2
have a
weeks from
feeling
now.
that these interims are gonna go on a good run. Like I have that feeling like they're gonna go on a good run
Just a good
and
enough run to keep their job, and then
just to
it's all
keep the
gonna fall
job. Like
apart.
they'll scrape into the playoff, and then they lose. Like, hey, y'all actually made it. You know what? We're gonna give y'all. You know, backs were
Es-
against the wall. We're gonna.
Estos güeyes van a ganar la pinche Leagues
I just
Cup,
have that
and they're
feeling.
gonna give them the whole job right then and there.
Or they make a deep run in the Leagues Cup. Like I have that feel. I just have that feeling with this club that they're gonna be like, you know what, y'all made it with this squad. Y'all can man this shit.
I was gonna say, like, I think the approach completely changes for the coach that comes in. You run the Leagues Cup with all your bench players, so none of your starters get hurt, so you
Yep.
can have some sort of chance in the league.
Yeah, right now, League's Cup, bro, it needs to be the least of our worries. The only reason we're sending anybody out there is because contractually we're obligated, but also I think just to buy us time to go get a coach or hunt around. And in this front office, bro, I don't know if they were legitimately looking for signings, but at this point now they're gonna have the excuse like, well, we got to go look for a coach. So forget the signings, and then we're just gonna dump the season.
What a horrible way to run a club, especially with a lot of these guys like in their prime, like the guys that are still
And
around.
now we know why Mauricio Culebro left, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You can say that again.
That's what I was saying. This man took the excellent opportunity. That guy's straight businessman. I think that guy does not get enough credit. And I know that he may have not done this best at Tigres, but if you look at the trajectory of his career, that man is going to go down as one of the prime examples of one of the best executives in Mexican league history. That dude went from Club America to Club Tigres to the MLS to one of the most maybe not successful MLS teams, but probably well-ran teams in the MLS. The minute or the second he saw an opportunity, and due to the fact that he saw this coming at Tigres, and I think it's much more clear now. Um, like I was told about why he left a couple of months ago when I ran into his driver, and it was interesting everything that he said. And then even when I spoke to him today, it just came more to fruition. Like, and that's why I brought up the whole aspect of like the finances. Like, it's been right in our face for a whole, last 2 years. There's not enough investment going into the club, and the brand continues to grow. Like, we're the first to, we see a drop in the jersey, and I'm going to continue to say it, even though you guys like the jersey. It's a Word Art jersey. It's that Microsoft document that you started in middle school and elementary that you started playing with the Word Art. That's what the brand is in front of the jersey. But we're the first ones to go buy it. We're the first to rush to the Tigre Tienda anytime, we go from Mexico to Monterrey, or any opportunity to go to a game here in the States, like, we're there because we love the team, and they know that. It's a popular brand and a popular team amongst, Nuevo Leoneses, and, expanding to the surrounding states. And, it's just unfortunate that, that's why I think that the Manchester United was such an excellent example. It's just riding on the history, right? And maybe we haven't had a ton of history, but the last 10 years felt like, 30 years of history with what we accomplished. And it just seems that, little by little, every day, we seem to get away from what got us there. A structure, a plan, development, spending, building, and being the top dog at every level of competition, and it's gone away, for the last probably 5 years or so. But, we were sort of happy with all of what happened in 2023, and it kind of, like I said, it masked a lot of things.
I think if the mission is what you're saying, Arnoldo, then I think we need to seriously think about a project where we bring in coaches that are going to develop our youth system, sort of mimicking what Pachuca had in place for many years. because I think that's the only way you can do it at this point. Then, if you don't invest in your youth system and start to really produce talent from the youth academies, then it's not going to work out because you're going to continue to bring in mid players while other teams are bringing in high talent. Teams like Cruz Azul, Toluca are going to continue to get better, and we're going to just get stagnant. We're going to become middle of the pack kind of team. So I think there if this was their plan all along and they've been doing it for a couple years now on us, I think they're already late to that to that uh to that point. I think they should have started much sooner.
Who is like an actual homegrown player, like the last one that we've called up and they've made an impact? Chicha
Chicha Sanchez.
Chuy.
Sanchez,
Chicha and Chewy. Those are the two examples.
and then Purata came from our academy, and we saw how that.
You love that guy, AJ. I was waiting
love
for you to
Purata.
mention that.
I love Purata, but anyways, like that's 3 players from your youth academy. So that shows you
and I
a
would
lack
argue
of,
that you need even better. I think you need more Jesus Dueñas, more Alan Pulido type level players. I think that's what
Luis
we're gonna.
Quiñones. I mean,
Julian Quiñones.
Julian Quiñones, yes.
Yeah,
Hooray!
that's the level you need, man. You need that sort of level to be competitive.
I still
The way
can't believe
the way
Luis
Pachuca was
Quiñones
doing
made
it.
an appearance today. And
Always and forever.
Sorry, guys, I'm driving.
and on top of that, the guy missed the sitter today. Go look up on Twitter and look him up today. He missed a wide open sitter.
That's incredible. It would truly not be an episode.
Rent free. Rent free.
Rent free is correct. Hey, Fred. Well, while you're back now, and I want to open this can of worms. We kind of touched on it earlier. Nahuel. He's now the last standing man of the golden era. And supposedly he did not take the news well today. Was very emotional about it. Naturally so. I want you to start answering this question, and then the rest of the group can add on their opinions. But what happens with him now at this point? Does he write it out? Does he think, is it my time to go too as well? Like, what happens with him at this point?
Just think of it this way, guys. What does the guy have to lose? He's built his career, right? And he built a successful career. He's at the end of his career right now, right? This isn't some 29-year-old, 30-year-old guy, in the prime of his career, and still looking forward to a lot more years ahead. No, this guy, he's writing it out, right? Year after year, getting a contract renewal, right, with Tigres, and essentially he's always said it, that he wants to retire basically playing alongside Messi. Look at what Messi's doing. He's bringing, the Messi and friends team and at Inter Miami. I think this is his opportunity, and I think he's going to take it. I honestly don't think that we will see Nahuel in a Tigres uniform next season. For sure next season. It might even happen mid-season. We might be surprised mid-season. He's seen what happened with the last legends at Tigres. Nothing was done for Gignac. He knows nothing's going to get done for him either. And he's the last one standing. So what does he got to lose?
Yeah, and I think even if he has to buy out the last 6 months of his contract, he'll do it just to go end it the way he wants to end it.
No, he probably has a clause to leave, to go play with Messi.
But I think the clause that he has, Alfred, is for going to go play
Newell's?
with Messi at Newell's Old Boys.
I don't think anywhere. You never know. You know how Argentinians are.
It's like you said, he's got deep pockets at this point, and his contract ends next season. I mean, in June of next year. So I mean, just drop whatever you're gonna drop and be like, you know what, I'm out. Peace.
No, he could convince Messi and Beckham to pay his clause out. He could do that.
You're on to something there. I'm shocked we did something for Damian at this point. Yeah, like way later though.
The team that doesn't work off of like salary caps, absolutely.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, they don't play by the rules. Of course they're gonna do it.
And their goalkeeper situation isn't even that good anyway, so maybe
Yeah,
we upgrade
they're
more.
not happy. They're not happy with the goalkeeper, and they paid a ton of money for that guy.
Yeah, for St. Clair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they are
he's
not happy with
buns.
him.
I bet Inter Miami could pick him up there. Yeah, see, there we go. See, there it is. There it is. We're onto something there. Any other additional opinions to what Alfred said, or are we all in agreement here?
I just
No,
don't think his head's
I
going to
think
be in
he
the game.
bells.
Yeah,
What'd you say, AJ?
I don't think he's going to be locked in. Unfortunately, with
Who's
this
the
and
backup? Antonio Correa. What's his name?
Carrera.
No,
Carrera.
Felipao
Felipao,
or
the
Carrera.
promising young star.
Ay, Dios mío.
Bright future ahead of that young man.
Short King.
Dios mío. And he's like 47 years old, out here moving like a dinosaur at 5'8".
Bro,
He's
he's living the dream. Like, I mean, honestly, like he's a one of those players that, like, you wonder, like, is he ever gonna be like look back at his career and regret anything? Absolutely not. He's just making money riding the bench.
He's in the position that any QB2 or QB3 in the NFL would love to be in, behind a superstar.
Exactly.
Agreed. And man, if we get to that point where we have to find his replacement, Noah's replacement, that's just.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Felipao's replacement. I'm like,
No,
where's he going?
hambre, chinga ese way. No me importa. I'm saying when we get to that point of finding Noah's replacement, which the work should already be happening on that front, if the scouting department was smart.
To quote a tweet that went viral either yesterday or today, if they didn't look for the replacement of Aquino, of Carioca, of Guignac, of Pizarro, you think they're going to look for the replacement of Now in Time? I don't think so.
Nope, not at all. I will say, if and when that happens, even though you've just spent quite a bit of time discussing it, Alfred, you're gonna end up reacting like the meme of the Odyssey that's going around right now, Matt Damon screaming. Ah! That's gonna be you. That's gonna be all of us.
I already feel that way inside. Like, I've been feeling this way since Guignac unfortunately did not leave raising a trophy in his last game with us.
Ugh. Don't remind me. Don't remind me about that reality. I'm trying to find the picture because it's just so funny, but I can't find it. What else are we missing about this whole Guido situation, or have we hit all the major points? There it is.
I think our fans need to buckle up. I think it's kind of like when you get on the plane and the seatbelt light comes on, and then 3 seconds later, the captain's like, "Hey guys, it's gonna be a bumpy ride." I think that's what we're coming up on. I think it's gonna be a bumpy ride. I think we're gonna end up losing more players and possibly not getting the signings that we want. I mean, it's not out of the question that we lose Brunetta. It's not out of the question that Buffalo Aguirre leaves and we end up with El Memote or a player like that as our
Ándale,
starting
there it is, Arnoldo. Your boy.
I mean,
Memote.
I'm not joking around. I'm not joking around. It's very possible we sell Buffalo for 2 mil, and then we go out and get Memote for 1.5 million and pocket that 500,000. I mean, I think it's gonna, and then we might end up losing Brunetta, and we're gonna say, hey, Gorriaran, now you're playing as the central attacking mid. Zwarg
Or we go
and
get
Patrick
we
Araujo.
go get Javid Bermudez. I think he's still on the
Oh
rise,
my
isn't
god!
he?
If we're gonna go with Javid, you might as well bring me out of retirement, bro. We're basically the same age.
No, Javid is still playing, bro.
I know, but he's like 45, bro. He's like, I mean, I remember Javid Bermudez from the early 2000s.
I was a kid.
He's so old that he was with Atlante when he debuted, and now he's back with them in first division.
Holy shit, that's crazy. Hey, no, I say we go get promising players. Players like Pizzuto or a player like that.
I vamos con Suto, bro. The leading goal scorer of Liga MX right now.
Do
I
we
Opinion.
let
mentioned earlier about our youth academy having to improve a lot. I think that's true, but I think also if we're gonna go down this path, which it seems like the front office is dead set, I think we're also gonna need to improve our scouting drastically. Like you can't afford to miss anymore with anybody you pick up, because everybody that you bring in, even if you're only paying half a mil or a mil for them, they got to be people that can produce right away. I mean, you can't have on the squad players like Eduardo Tercero, those sort of dudes that are just filler. I think they're gonna have to focus on getting a roster that has players that are productive and also hungry, players that have the drive, the motivation, that want to get something done. And to me, it's a huge oversight if they were gonna go down this path. I think maybe they should have just gone out and gotten Almada, but I think America is on the same boat as us and realize we need to go pick them up before Tigres does. So I wonder if they just beat us to the punch on that.
I think that's very possible. Very, 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 very possible, to be honest. And now looking back on it, sucks. Because he would have been
Because
great.
that's a coach that's willing to work with a low budget, willing to let the kids play, basically gets up in their face, chews them out, makes them work extra hard, and then you get what you get out of it.
Yep.
And I think that's the kind of system you're going to have in place in order to be able to compete in the league. And I think we need to start forgetting about being title contenders every season. I think we just need to accept the fact that we might make a final every 4 or 5 years, perhaps, if that.
Goal
I
of,
think,
goal of the season now is to win the Clásico. That's the only goal.
Yep.
yeah, I mean it's dark times. I think we just need to buckle up, because I think that's just the kind of expectations that we're going to have now. I think Arnoldo nailed it. 2023 was an exception. It wasn't. It masked a lot of the issues. I think if you look at after Tuca left into now, I think you realize if you throw away 2023, I think that's kind of the way things are going to go. And without the leadership of all the guys that have left, it's going to get tougher. I think you're not going to have somebody in the locker room that pushes these guys and keeps everything structured. So you're losing a lot, and by pushing these players out and these leaders, I think you also lose in the locker room big time.
Absolutely. It's depressing. We are truly in our Corajes era in every way possible. I really like that Edgar, our friend, aka Double O Nation, changed his profile picture to depressed Snoopy, because that's how I think all of us feel currently with the state of the team.
Guys,
Depressed.
are you guys practicing your Diablitos throws? You got to practice those swings.
No, but I can tomorrow. Just for you. Lou, do you want to talk about you probably don't, but you want to talk about Sunday night, the girls game? Just thoughts on the experience, and even though it ended in a crappy penalty shootout, thoughts on how it went down there?
Even that kind of shows you how things have changed. Like they had a little table set up with Janely Farias for America and Fer Elizondo for Tigres, and it was just like a little plastic table with a black cloth on it. America was giving out all these stickers. We didn't give out anything. And the fans kind of took notice. They were like, "Hey, how come America has all this stuff they're giving away and we're
Bro,
not giving nothing?"
what they still owe us stickers, bro, from like 3 years ago. Chingao.
And so even that, we're cutting the budget, and the Tigre was there, took photos with Fer Elizondo, so that was fun. And then the game actually went better than I thought it would, given all the absences. I thought we at least battled. But I mean, you could clearly see the differences in the roster. They're just so much more physical. Um, the Brazilian for their team, we threw everybody at her, and she just flew past everybody. We couldn't stop her. We were picking up yellow cards and left and right, trying to defend her. And I mean, you can just see their holding mids are bigger. They're just faster. We've got players coming back from injury, like Mari Carmen Reyes struggled out there, doesn't look fit, doesn't look ready, and I think we're just gonna struggle as a team too. There, I think it just we're kind of gonna be maybe the fourth or fifth best team in the league with the current roster that we have. Themby was out for the African Cup, but from what I understand, she might have gotten hurt out there. And at this point,
Great.
Surprise,
she's
surprise.
she hasn't played a whole lot, bro. And I mean, she's an amazing talent, great speed, but she's never on the pitch. And so now you're looking at Mayra Delgadillo playing that position, and she's not a player that's going to make a difference in the big games,
And we will
right?
not speak on her performance from Sunday because it was not good.
How do you make a
She got roasted, but
how do you make a forward that has made all her career being an attacking player and just decided to put it, hey, I'm gonna plug you in right back?
yeah, that's on Pedro Losa, bro. I mean, you can't expose her like that. And then you're asking her to guard possibly the best player in the league. That Brazilian girl reminds me of Prime Owaye, bro. I mean, you can't defend her. Gets past everybody. Just she's just amazing. She's really good. And so I mean, it's just I think it's also what's going on in the men's and what's going on with the institution is going to be reflected on in the women's team as well. And I mean, now you know why they were so reluctant to let go of Pedro Losa. They're not going to let him go because they're not going to pump money into a new coach.
Hey, Lou,
And
who are
so it's going to be rough,
who are you more excited to see this season then? Tigres varonil or Tigres femenil?
bro.
The answer is C, neither.
Honestly, I feel like we're in better hands with uh, Turrubiates and Elizondo than with Pedro Losa. Because they're institutional guys, at least I know they're going to put the effort in and try to do their best to do something with the men's squad. Whereas with Pedro Losa, I just don't trust him at all. I don't know if he's even bought in anymore to this squad. I think he's just trying to ride it out, finish out his contract, and then be on his way. I look at him and he just looks so bitter and unhappy on that bench. And so, what are you going to transmit to the girls with that kind of energy? So, to me, I think it's going to be another long season for the femenil. There's just several teams that have gotten better. You got rid of Natalia Collin. I mean, another another
For no
move
reason.
to try to make money. I mean, you mean to tell me that you couldn't use her? If Greta Espinosa goes down for this squad, bro, and
We're
fingers crossed that
cooked.
she doesn't,
We're
there is
cooked.
nobody that can defend because Marisa, I'm sorry, but I thought she was going to be amazing. She's a bust at that position. To me, right now, the only way you could possibly salvage her is to move her to holding mid. And obviously, you're not going to do it because you don't have any backups.
Yeah, we're cooked. we we are cooked. I need
But
Pedro to hand in his resignation, but that coward's not going to do it.
Who's your Mayra Delgadillo backup? Who's your Maria Sanchez backup? Jimena Lopez went down during the game with a hamstring injury. She's probably going to be out a couple weeks. Who's her backup? In already depleted position. Anika Rodriguez is out for the season.
This is going to be Tati Flores' breakout year, guys.
yeah, right. I was gonna say I just had a realization on the men's side we just became Santos with titles. and not that far off either because they don't have. I think they have six, so two away. Um, we have at some point their best players probably over the last 10 years, in Brunetta and Nando, and then on the women's side, I just get the feeling we don't have anything to look forward to, just like on the men's side, and it's just a not only a coaching deficiency, but a roster deficiency, aging deficiency. You gave away. I think I just saw Tigres mention Collins. Like that was somebody that we bet on as a good signing, and then you just loan her away. Last season Ferral, you bring in players that in theory were going to be better. Ferral has a phenomenal season at Chivas in terms of being a good veteran and scoring and getting them to the liguilla. The goalie position still has been, a clouded position for such a long time. Tembi's always injured. We still have Alison, who we think, is going to have a breakout year since she had it in 2017. I just think that, again, we hit a wall, and, that wall is just bouncing us back tremendously in everything that we accomplish on both teams. And it just doesn't seem that it's going to get better. And so I guess my follow-up question here before I go is, what do we actually have to look forward to in this season? What's a positive thing that we can get out of the men's and the women's side?
Literally winning the clásicos for both. like,
More Corona concerts.
a la madre.
Your mic's not working, Dennis. If you said something.
What?
7th or 8th place, Arnoldo, on the men's side, and probably 5th or 6th on the women's side. I think that's where we end up.
Okay. All right. So that's aspiration, but what about positive? What do you like? What do you think comes out of all this, dark tunnel that we're going through? Because I have one, but I want to leave it to the end.
I think we're gonna have some dank memes. Pretty nice memes.
Thank you.
So concerts, memes.
Corajes.
Dennis, your mic's still not working, bruh.
Drieger says it's working.
All
so
that sweet voice just knocked it out of the park.
I don't know. Chicha goals.
I think for me, and why he fixes that, I think the positive is a couple of things. You had a Chuy Garza call up to the Mexican national team, an all-star call up, and I think that just you ride that wave and you hope for a continuance even on a bad team, that he continues to show out exactly what he's capable of. Being a really good player, somebody that's young, that loves the team, loves the club colors, was formed there, and sticks out as somebody during the dark time because he's probably experienced it as a young kid and as a young fan, and ultimately, just sticks out between all this drama that the club is going through.
The only positive I see possibly coming out of this whole mess is somehow Hernan Elizondo turns into the Mexican Pep Guardiola, and he is a hidden gem that we thought we would never see, and then we luck out on him, and somehow the season gets salvaged, and we have somebody to look forward to. But that I'm dreaming. I'm not being realistic here. But I don't see too many positives coming out of the season, just because I don't trust the leadership right now. I don't trust the decisions being made, and I don't know if there is a good football mind in the midst, in the group, that I can really truly trust to make
I got one positive.
footballing decisions.
I got one positive thing to look forward.
Go ahead.
If the front office really, really is looking to save money, is looking to make some cash, they're gonna sell out Torrado. They're gonna sell out Torrado. We're gonna put somebody in his place that's cheaper than Torrado. We get rid of Torrado. So I think that's the positive.
We'll see if Carlos Emilio agrees with that statement. Because I'll say this about him too: he's not had a good start to his tenure, whether directly or indirectly. I think he has gotten strike one. Just saying. I don't think I'm unfair in saying that.
Do you guys get the feeling that now with the context that we have and what we've seen, that perhaps Mauricio Doender is using him as a scapegoat? That somehow they knew this was coming and they're just going to use a guy that's an institution guy to be the face of the guy that's going to take the punches in the face. And then once it's done, once he does everything he needs to do, then just send him back to Cemex and let him continue his role there.
Are you saying he's his Jim Carrey in Dick and Jane?
I just think now I'm getting the sensation is that makes sense. You brought him in knowing it was going to be a really bumpy ride and the fans are going to get really upset, and you bring him in as the dude that's going to take the fall.
Who was that? Just put that comment. That was great.
I don't know, but I love it.
I'm with you, Lou. I think that he's just a guy that's he's a pit stop, a placeholder for some sort of different agenda that the corporation has behind the team and looking to accomplish. And ultimately, we're going to talk about somebody that just came by and no one will probably remember.
Yep. Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. All right. We good? Any final words, anybody? Any final corajes to make note of?
I don't know if it's just me,
I think
but I can't hear you, Dennis. I hope the other guys are able to hear you.
Yeah,
yes, we can hear him.
Yeah, it's
that's wild. I can't hear him.
That's crazy. We thought you were joking about that comment of his mic not working or something.
No, I hear him. I can hear you guys, and I can hear him speaking, through the camera, but I cannot hear what he's saying. I might have to leave the meeting and join back in. Hold on.
Dios. They're doing the can't hear you. Yeah, see? Thank you, Drinker. You know what's up. Yeah. Anywho, yeah, any final corajes before we try to sleep?
Just good luck.
I just gotta say, guys. Yeah, I gotta say, guys. The corajes are just beginning. Don't.
Oh yeah.
Don't. If somebody right now is literally, crying out for help, and it's got to be somebody, from 2011 and up. 2011, to now, because us old school guys, we remember.
What is this
the
username,
dark
bro?
times.
What is this username that he's turned up on the screen?
I don't know. We remember the dark times, guys, and you know what this reminds me of? Travieso Guzman era. That's what it reminds me of. Travieso Guzman era. So strap on, guys. It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
Is Tolo Gallego still available, bro? At least we can have some carne asada every Thursday.
Bro, how many?
Boy.
I can hear you now, Dennis. So,
Hooray!
Yeah. How many coaches did we go through that era of those years from 2005 to 2009? I think.
Hey, we might be matching. We might be matching that era now.
We're getting close, bro. Because, we had Mario Carrillo, Peckerman, Manuela Puente, Leo. We had Tolo,
shit.
Daniel Guzman.
We might be onto something here.
Osvaldo Batocletti. Who else? Well,
there was
Osvaldo
an older.
was slightly before.
There was an older fellow Mexican. He was tall. Can't remember his name right now. Yeah, tall older gentleman.
You're not thinking about Jose Peckerman, are you?
No, not Peckerman. Obviously, he's what is he?
Colombiano.
Argentinian or Colombian or something. Yeah. No. Mexican. I think we brought him on. I think he was coaching at Cruz Azul, and then we took him on.
Oh, Tena?
Trejo? No, you
Oh,
mentioned
Trejo.
Trejo, yes,
Yeah,
Trejo.
Trejo.
He brought Restrepo and Tomás Campos and Emmanuel El Dientón Gutiérrez.
John Restrepo, bro. I had forgotten about that guy, the Colombian. What a scrub, bro.
Hey, it's time to bring out that scrub list again, and I think we're gonna have to revamp it, guys. Some of our current team roster might make the list.
Oh, Josh. Yeah, including supposedly the defender of the game last week, Vladi Loroña.
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 I've
How-
actually had a
How
thought.
how the heck did he get voted that, bro? That's incredible.
I've actually had an idea in my head, since Saturday's game, and I just haven't had the time. I don't have any more time with the working for Arnoldo anymore. But I want to make a list, just a top 10 list of the worst Tigres benches that Tigres has had, and just rank the current bench and see where it would fall in the top 10 list.
Okay. Shall we?
So if
shall
you
we
guys want to
I
help
do
out
our
with that,
research and figure
I
it out
feel
next
like-
week?
I feel like you wouldn't have to go too far, bro. I feel like it would be literally every jornada this season beating the other one from the previous top 10. I think you knock it out.
Oh God.
you get all top 10 this season.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, bro. It's. I mean, I can't even remember for so long. I even feel during those dark times, like you had some ballers. They just
You
didn't
still had some
bench.
depth, some mid player depth, and right now I can't even say we have any mid player depth.
Like, who was that guy that played, that youngster? I feel so bad because I saw him come in and I was like,
Ordóñez?
No, the
Jose
other one.
Antonio.
I was
Jose
watching
Antonio or Juan
the
Antonio,
Maria or
like that.
something. I was watching the
Yeah.
game and I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
damn.
Antonio Di Maria, bro. He's a Querétaro kid that they brought in. He's a forward.
I was like, either I am now turning the corner and getting older, or it's bad again. Like, this is not a good team.
I'm pretty sure you make probably double what he makes, Arnoldo. He's probably on that
Probably.
45,000 K a year money.
Oh my God.
Oh Lord. Good grief.
That's actually a great exercise, Alfred. We're gonna have to knock that out here shortly. I'll make sure
Have to
we
do it.
set some time on the calendar for our meetings.
Hey, maybe we can ask Claude to do it for us, eh?
Yeah, no
Oh.
kidding.
Oh gosh, so we're gonna end up with some AI slop.
Hey,
It's the last thing we need.
Claudia does some excellent work.
Claudia's crazy. Oh man, probably would have done better on the jersey according to Arnoldo with the word art.
Yeah.
But
Hey, in person, once you see it in person, it's not half bad. It's actually pretty attractive looking.
Get out of here, Alfred.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
ay, Dios
I mean, I'm
mío.
not buying it right now. I'm gonna wait until it drops. In
Honestly,
price, but
I'm gonna implement the strategy I did this year. I bought all 3 jerseys here between May and June, and I spent literally the least amount of money that I have in jerseys in the last probably 10 years. I got, I got the blue one away for with the Correa number. That's awful, but
Tough.
I got it for like 400 pesos for 450 pesos. Like, it was cheap. It was on sale for one of the games that we went to. I think it was the Conca game where we advanced on. I think it was Cincinnati, maybe, or maybe after that. Who do we play? Columbus.
Nashville.
Nashville, yes. And then I got the black one on an Adidas sale here in the U.S. They had like 40% off, and I used like one of my coupons of like 15% off. So like, it was a steal. And then the yellow one I ended up getting back after the season ended when I went back, and I think it cost me like 800 pesos. And I got the long sleeve because I hadn't had a long sleeve in a while with Gignac's number on it.
The correct way to get that jersey, by the way, was to get it long sleeve and with his number on it. as we all know. Yeah, I think we're all buying our jerseys at the end of season sale in the spring. Unless you're Lou, who probably already bought the home kit already and already has it hanging up on his collection, didn't you? Long sleeve, short sleeve.
Somebody's got to fill the coffers of Cemex, bro.
Ay, Dios mío.
Did they release the away jersey? I don't know if I haven't
No,
seen
No,
their
that
away
that's
jersey.
No, it is. It
middle of
is.
August, right?
No, it is. There's I literally saw in the stadium at least like 20 people with it. It's out.
That's
Or I don't know how they
jersey,
got
though,
their
bro.
hands on it.
What's it look
No.
like?
Number,
No,
bro.
it
That's,
actually looks really nice.
That's
Really
the
better
MB
than the
that's
logo.
MBO.
yeah.
That's the MBO jersey.
I don't know.
special, bro.
They
The
look pretty
tie- the tie
legit,
special.
and I don't know. They look
That's
pretty
where they
legit.
get you. That's where they get you, bro. What do you mean? Anyways,
Now you
Lou, answer my question. You get a short sleeve, long sleeve,
Long
authentic,
sleeve, bro.
long
I
sleeve,
always
authentic.
get long sleeve, authentic, and short sleeve. I'll get one of each.
Nice. Lou bucks. I need some
I'm
of them Lou
already.
bucks.
I'm running out of space though. I have to tear down a wall or something to add more.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think the official release of the away kit is in like a few weeks, couple weeks. I bet you it'd come out during Leagues Cup. Honestly.
Probably. We're gonna recopy the branding of 2023 and release it during the Leagues Cup to get the away fans on the US side bought in.
Hey, what about the training jersey? What do you guys think of that one? That's
The-
I hate
Wardar
it.
2.0.
You're talking about the pre-game, right?
The
That
pregame
thing
one,
is
yes.
ugly, bro.
Oh, the
Ugly.
pregame one. Oh, the training one's bad.
The one
The
that has
black
like
one.
the Libres de Loco stuff on it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that either. I think the only thing that I like is I kind of like the ugly Germany looking jersey. That I don't know. I think it's in originals, and I
Oh,
like
the one that looks like America's.
Yeah, and I kind of like the practice gear, like emblems or colors that they're using, and I'm pretty sure that they are going to release like a windbreaker jacket, and I'm going to add it to the collection because I got the green one, the blue one, the yellow one, and this one has got like white, yellow, and blue. So I kind of like it.
This dude's gonna add up his cuenta. We're gonna have to review it at the end of the year. All the
I
receipts.
mean, I'm sure I got some sort of like free something from the Social Tigre because I went ham the last 3 months, with all
Hey,
the sales.
but did
they
you
had.
give your number?
Yeah, I did. Why?
Okay.
They're coming after me?
Yeah. No, because the last couple of times I went to Tigre Tienda, the motherfucking cashiers, they forget to ask me for my number. And then
Oh, no.
once I paid, I'm like, hey, can you add it to the social team? They're like, no, it's too late. I'm like, what? Like, it's literally your job to remind me.
Yeah, no, they ain't remind you, bro. They don't want to give out free stuff.
They just want to give you.
crazy.
They just want to give you an access code for very overpriced tickets to a game. That's also
That's crazy, bro. That is
Bro,
crazy.
1,000 pesos para sentar allá en Son General, bro. What are we doing? What are we doing?
I'm telling you.
And it's still sold out. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's the first game of the season. And
Hombre, bro, los pinches.
And it sold out for Intocable. Honestly,
You
Intocable
guys-
show was fire.
Do you guys think it's gonna backfire on the front office, and we're gonna end up seeing a little more empty seats in the stadium?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
100%.
it should.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
100%
especially-
Definitely.
Especially when you throw in the factors of we get the Friday Botanero games, some of the ugly times because of the TV Azteca television programming. Like, no one's going to make, like, an effort to get out there if it's not convenient.
Well, and
Because
now
I'm
you have,
already seeing that trend with the femenil. They're
yeah.
struggling to sell tickets. They're not. I think attendance keeps going down every season.
and they've
Man.
only opened up the. I was looking at the seat map today. They've only opened up the middle sections on each side. Like last season, you could get in the middle, like by the benches, and on the other side, you can get the middle and the preferente sections. The preferente sections are both closed off right now.
Yeah,
And
they're
they're
just
more
trying to get
expensive.
people in the camera view.
Yep. And they're more expensive. They're, again, at least 50 pesos more expensive. And on the men's side, there's not another home game for a couple weeks. The next home game for the guys is the Leagues Cup game when Vancouver comes to town on the 11th.
Yeah,
So
I'll be there in Monterrey for that.
there will be a lot of time between now and then before the fans can like actually really express their opinions about what's going on with the team, more so than what they did on Saturday.
Well, expect low
How many
attendance
points
for
we
that
getting
Vancouver game.
in the next few games? How many points we're making?
Okay, so we play Querétaro on Saturday. I think we're losing that game. I think we're going to lose 3-0 at this point with how bad the vibes are.
I was looking at the calendar, and I think we're gonna enter the Clásico Regio probably with about 9 points, 8 or 9 points.
Woof.
How many games is that from here?
A
I
lot.
think the Clásico is the 9th game in the season.
So 7 games, and so 8 points in the next 7 games. Wow.
I think we're gonna lose against Querétaro.
Yeah,
And
I can see
I
that.
definitely think we won't win. So maybe a point there. Then you got to go on the road against Necaxa.
That's the loss.
We lose there.
I mean, I was just looking at it, bro, and I'm like, man, even though they're not fantastic teams, I think they're all just gonna be better coached than us.
No,
And
it's going to be flat. It's going to be a flat team.
yeah,
You literally took out so much energy out of the club in the last 2 departures.
Here's the calendar.
3 departures with Gignac.
Oh, yeah. Here's the calendar in full. Querétaro on Saturday. Leagues Cup break. Right after that. First game after Leagues Cup, assuming you don't make the knockout round of that, is against Atlas on the road.
Without that goal, count on that.
Chinga madre. Jorge Sanchez assist, probably. Atlante at home, right after
Piojo
that.
revenge game.
Freaking tercero goal, Pisuto assist. Santos on the road.
We might win that one. We might win that one. I refuse to believe
Bro,
we lose to
if
Santos.
we don't beat Santos, oh my God.
Necaxa's at home. So I actually feel a little bit better about that, slightly.
They're good. They look good the first 2 games.
And then the Clásico.
That's a hard L. I think Monterrey is going to be a problem.
I don't know about all that, bro. They didn't look too good on Saturday. They look kind of buns.
Almeida's a great coach.
It's true. But their defense still
And they
sucks.
got depth. They got depth.
They do have depth.
Yeah.
But they have no goalie and their center backs suck.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Their defense sucks. But I think, if anything, what you're going to get out of them is going to be an energetic team, that's going to buy into El Pelado Almeida. I always wanted that guy for Tigres.
Chingao, bro. Chingao. Well, we'll see what happens. Yeah, see, even Trigger saying it. Pisuto goal. This dude's going to end up with like 5 goals by the end of the season.
I'm leaving on that. I can't believe Pisuto is a topic for us.
He's getting mentioned in the same way that Orre is getting mentioned. Yeah,
Bro,
we
and now that Pollito left our chat, like, where's he at? He'd be celebrating.
Yeah.
Or is he did he make an Atlante lads chat? What happened?
yeah.
Chingao, bro.
That's great.
It's him and Edgar running the show over there with Edgar's affection towards Tercero.
I feel like our chat has been hacked. Every time I log in, it's got a new name, it's got a new group, it's got new people. I've seen it now consecutively for the last few months, and I just log in. I'm just like, I wonder, like, what happened.
Oh man, that thing. I don't know who runs that chat, bro. I mean, it's a mess, man.
Not I. All right, fellas.
Yeah,
I am out.
Yeah, let's get out of here. I'll do the conclusion while you leave. I don't know, but thank you for joining us, everybody. Corajes FC is back, everybody. We do want y'all to join us every week, though, so that we can process all these stupid feelings together. So follow us on all the platforms. Look at the show notes. Look at the episode description. Let us know what you think about this news online or on YouTube or whatever. And we'll be back sometime next week. to talk about hopefully some better news, and we're going to try to talk Leagues Cup because Leagues Cup starts a week from today for Tigres against Real Salt Lake as well. So for Fred, for Batman, for Lou, and for AJ, and for me, Dennis, this is Lautimes. Thank you for joining us, and don't get fired or don't do anything dumb between now and then, everybody. See you guys next week, hopefully.
Arriba la U.
Peace.